Okay. A few other things you might want to do is we'll pretend that this track at the bottom is still you talking, and you decided, oh, I want to put a sound effect in here, or I want to put my music in here, or whatever. I made a mistake and I have to add a sentence. Okay. Well, I'll decide, well, that's the point where I want to add whatever it is I want to add. So I'm going to highlight the second half. And if I go to edit, split, you're going to notice as soon as I hit split, the part that's highlighted is going to go onto a brand new track right underneath. It's going to hold its position, so it's still in the same place, but we can take our double arrow tool and we can create a little gap and put whatever it is we need to put right in between here. So we'll pretend maybe it was this that we wanted to put in between. Okay, we can line it up now. Because those are pretty far apart, I can't really tell, so I'm going to grab that track just by clicking, holding, and dragging it down. Now I can line things up a little bit easier, okay? And as always, listen through, grab your selection tool, highlight there, hit play, and make sure everything sounds good. The opposite we could do is mix these three together, okay? So you want to make sure that your levels are set, that you're really happy that these three files can be linked together into a single track, because you're not going to be able to undo it after you've done it. Well, I mean, you can undo it right away, but if you save your project and you do other things, then you're not going to be able to cleanly unmix things, especially if you have tracks mixed on top of one another. Okay, it'll be impossible for you to separate things. It's a little bit easier if it's, you know, there's completely spaced out, then we can just, you know, split the tracks like we did before, but you want to make sure that these are good. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this track. I'm going to hold down Shift, and when I hold down Shift, I can select or unselect any of the tracks, and you can tell that they're selected because they're blue now. Okay, and if I go up to Project Quick Mix, you're going to see those three files are going to shoot all the way to the bottom as a single track, and that's what they look like all together. So these are the three things I just mixed together, and then I can move them as a single entity. So I've moved those into place. What else do you need to know? So after every session, you want to save your project. So this is my first session, so I'm just going to go save project, and it's going to give me a little warning here. Just hit OK and tell it what you want to call it. So I'm going to call this YouTube example. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. As soon as I do that, I'm going to look where I saved it, which was on my desktop. And I have two things. I have a folder with all the audio tracks in it, okay? And I have my AUP file, okay? And this tells all the audio tracks where to go, the volumes you put on each track, all that information that you see in here, so it doesn't just stack all these tracks on top of each other. It knows this one should be here, and this one should be here, and the volume's here, and blah, 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 okay? If you delete this folder, you're completely out of luck, okay? You have this AUP file, and it's going to say, okay, I know where everything goes, but if you don't give it anything, it's not going to put it anywhere, okay? If you delete the AUP file, it's going to be a pain because you're going to have to import each of these one by one and try and line them up, and it's never pretty. It's always easier just to re-record everything. So make sure you save both of those, okay? And you back them up onto a USB disk. Once you're completely done, we'll pretend I've listened to top to bottom. I love it. It's great. Everything sounds good. Then I can go File, Export as MP3. Okay, it's going to give you a warning saying it's either going to mix it to a stereo track or a mono track. Hit OK. And you're going to name it as per instructions in the email. So if you remember, I asked for your group names first. So Adam Hodgins, and if my partner is Corey Deegan, okay, space dash space. Then I'm going to name the era. So if I was given the Baroque era, then I'll write Baroque, okay? Make sure you spell it and capitalize it and space it the exact same way. Okay, hit save, and it's going to pop up your tagging window, okay? And in the title, you are going to write your era, okay? If I want to call it A&C's Amazing Baroque Show, okay, then I can do that, but make sure it's in brackets. I want to see your era right at the very beginning so I know what's what, okay? I'll just delete this and just call it Baroque, okay? In the artist, Adam Hodgins and Corey Deegan, okay? And in the album, This may change depending on the time of year, okay, and what grade you're in. So if I'm in grade 8, I'm going to go grade 8, music, history, podcasts. Is that plural? Yes, it is. And you're going to put the year. So 0910, that's when I did this, and I did it during term 2. If it's during term 1, make sure it is term 1. If it's 2011, 2012, fix that. If you're in grade 7, fix that. Okay? And then track number. It depends on how many people are in your class. At this particular moment, there are 5 groups in grade 8, so they are numbered 1 to 5, and this is in the email I sent you. Okay, so Baroque right now is number 3, so I'm going to put in number 3, and I'm going to hit OK. Okay, it's going to export that, and you're going to email it to me. If I look on my desktop, there it is. It's tagged nicely. If I bring it into iTunes, it's going to look beautiful. Check the email too. I show you how to put artwork on your project if you're so inclined to do that. One other thing I didn't mention, or 1 or 2 things. If you need to get rid of any of these tracks, you can always click on the X. Okay. Also, one problem I always see guys encountering is they've played through. They played through stuff and they've hit paused, and as soon as they hit pause, they want to go to import some audio or do some kind of function, and everything's grayed out, and they're going, it's broken. Why isn't it working? It's because you hit pause. If you hit stop, you're going to notice, boom, everything is back working like normal. Okay, number 1 question / problem that I encounter with you guys. So I hope that helped. Bye.